Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to a beautiful weekend, the weekend of September 20th through the 21st. Spoiler alert, we have the second new moon in Virgo in our first house, the partial solar eclipse. We also have Venus and Uranus, almost said Uranus. Anyway, Uranus playing a role. We also have Jupiter playing a role. This is a beautiful weekend of new beginnings, and they're long-lasting. Saturn's playing a role as well. This is a weekend to truly manifest, set intentions, and we'll get into some details too, beyond what we've already discussed on manifestation in the short clip the short video that I put together prior. Now, before we get started, I also too want to say thank you guys to each and every one of you. Seriously, you guys are what make this channel a success. Make this Honey Sea Star family a true family, a tribe, a soul tribe. Each and every one of you, I love you guys so much, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. So let's get into it. So right away, coming into this weekend, on the 20th, we've got Venus squaring off with Uranus. And I know normally squares, they're tension, right? There's a push-pull in it. This one is actually coupled with the moon being sextile with Jupiter. So Venus just changed into our sign in Virgo in our first house. Check out that video if you haven't seen it. It goes into some depth. But when she squares off with Uranus in Gemini in our 10th house, this is where there is breakthroughs, in particular to where you're pouring your heart's desires, where you're pulling and associating your career with your authenticity, with your soul's purpose. And also too, we've got the moon in Virgo in our first house, sextile with Jupiter in Cancer in our 11th house. And remember, Jupiter, that's blessings, optimism, luck, opportunity. In Cancer is where he's at home, exalted. In our 11th house as well. That's hopes, wishes, dreams, long-term aspirations, but it also has a lot to do with our family, our support systems, our networks, right? And humanitarian efforts. And Venus also rules finances. So she right now, especially with Mercury as well, check out that video if you haven't seen it, because Mercury also just recently changed signs here this last week. All of this is coming together where it's like heart's desires, career, honors, achievements, all aligned with your stability, your structure, new beginnings, and finances, security. And then to top it off with this solar eclipse here also taking place, this is where the solar eclipse is also clearing away all obstacles, all blockages that were preventing you from moving forward in your manifestations, in your authenticity, and in your dreams. We'll also, spoiler alert as well, I'll also be doing a separate video on this new moon and the solar eclipse, what that means for you, how to work with that energy. Wow, that flew out. And then also too, if you need any help with affirmations, because that's about priming your energy, right? Receiving, affirming, allowing what you want to call in, what you desire. And so check out that video as well, because all the affirmations, all the intentions that you set with the first Virgo new moon back in August, this is going to bookend that with new beginnings, a double dose of new beginnings and completions at 29 degrees. And the High Priestess came out. Wow. Okay, if you just got goosebumps like I just did right now, put a heart in the comments below, because this weekend is truly monumental, and spoiler alert as well, because I'll do a separate read on this as well, and I'll also put together an affirmation meditation. We're walking in on Monday, on the 22nd, to our autumn equinox. I know, gorgeous. So let's get into the 20th first. So there's this dynamic interplay basically between your self-presentation, your identity, and your career today. And it's paired with emotional clarity with that moon sextile with Jupiter, as well as support from friends, from your relationships. Venus in Virgo encourages you to take a practical approach to love, personal values, your appearance, and finances, and reflect how all of these aspects are aligning to your authenticity. When I say identity as well, so that's our first house, right? We've got the moon in the first house, we've got Venus in the first house, we've got the solar eclipse in our first house as well. This is truly where, and we'll get into it, but think of identity when you come into manifestations as your state of consciousness. So looking at how life is, how manifestations really come into our reality in the here and now. Life starts with being, right? And being leads to doing. Doing results in the having. So when you look at being, doing, having, breaking that all down into steps, the only difference between you and another person who's living your dream life, your authenticity, is your state of consciousness. We'll get into that on manifestations a little bit deeper, but Uranus in this mix as well. In our 10th house, currently in Gemini, in retrograde, is asking us to reflect on all that we've been building, all that you've been creating, manifesting, thinking about launching in your career path this whole summer through all the retrogrades that we've had. Remember, the biggest thing is, in order to have breakthroughs, sometimes you got to break things down to break through, right? Just like remodeling a house. Demo day is necessary. You got to be out, you got to tear out the old to allow room and make room energetically, physically, manifestations as well for the new. And that's what this new moon is all about. That's what the solar eclipse is about. That's what the square with Venus and Uranus is all about as well. And change can be uncomfortable. So we're very blessed on the 20th, especially with the moon being sextile with Jupiter, because it's offering you that support that you need, the emotional security and stability to really process all the change, because that's why it makes it uncomfortable, right? It's just a lot to process and go through. And Jupiter's bringing in the support that you need as well, not only from the energies astrologically, but from your community, your friendships, your partnerships, your relationships in such a beautiful way. So Uranus has been asking you, like, out of all these changes, is this what you want? How do you feel about it? And remember, Venus this whole summer, this whole year practically, she's been waking up, rebirthing right along with us. And she's been asking us, what do you want your destiny to look like? What do you want your future to look like? Let's pour all your heart into it. This is where both of them coming together with this square. There's this tension, right? They're both really getting you to reflect in a beautiful way with your state of consciousness, your identity in your first house, to make sure that they align with your goals, that you're seeing or that the return on investment that you're experiencing is fulfilling to your soul. And remember, finance is just one measure. Venus measures that. Venus rules that. We've also got Saturn in the mix playing a role to your legacy, the luxuries that you want to experience in your future. It's long lasting. These new beginnings with this new moon, with this solar eclipse, are long lasting. It's a whole new chapter. These guys are basically asking you to look at that return on investment, not only finances, but also the community support, the relationships you're building. Is what you're doing aligned, making you, the best way I've heard it put is, does it light you up, right? Because remember, you're the light. Your reality is the shadow around you, right? When you have your state of consciousness basically embodied in the center of you for truly being aligned to your authenticity, the universe has no other option but to reflect that back to you with its shadow, with the unknown, when you think of shadow as a different word, because it's all frequency. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, share your thoughts, because this square is truly creating a dynamic friction. And it can also manifest as sudden career shifts and perspectives about your career, and shifting that too, that challenge your personal values and your relationships. With this challenge and the contemplation that comes with it, especially with that retrograde, it also brings opportunities for growth and recognition that creates so much change. Like I say, it can feel unsettling. So now is the time to truly embrace the change, embrace the open-minded flexibility that comes with the need of change, right? The desire of change. And now is truly the time to know that this transit is designed to propel you toward a more authentic professional future in a very prolific way and in a very big way, coming in right before that second new moon and that partial eclipse. And remember, I'll say it again, that partial eclipse, that solar eclipse, is clearing obstacles so that your path forward is clear. And Venus is giving you the discernment and the charm to magnetize your manifestations toward you so that the universe can be aligned and magnetize, bring in what you're truly calling in. So now is the time really, and especially with Venus, to utilize that discernment to let go of how you raise your, of the how, I should say as well. So when you manifest, it's not about the practical logic that your ego, your mind wants to create, right? We've got to surrender it to the universe and be fine with what we have right now. Let it go so that the universe can orchestrate and bring in something far greater than what we can imagine, far greater than what we can ask for when it comes to the logical mind. So this is the time truly to let go of the how, raise your frequency, and let the universe guide you and provide you the best result and the best path. And know too that this as a shift occurs in your professional trajectory or in expressing yourself and experiencing yourself in a way that's surprising, especially with Uranus in the mix. And the Virgo Moon, its sextile with Jupiter, is heightening your emotional intuition, not only with aligning your intuition to your frequency, but aligning you with support from your friends, your community. And this support circle as well, spoiler alert, is also creating a synergy. So by bringing optimism, by bringing hope into the balance, into the mix, this energy that's coming from Jupiter and from the moon will help balance any uncomfortability that Uranus and Venus are shaking up, especially when it comes for looking at new career opportunities. Basically, both of those two, the moon and Jupiter, are looking at all the shakeups that are being pushed towards you or into pushing you to change and pushing you out of your comfort zone. And they're bringing comfort, reassurance. Not only that, they're bringing luck. And with Venus, again, ruling finances, financial gains and even new opportunities and blessings are coming from your social network during this time, during this mix. So now is the time to truly pay attention to the synchronicities, meditate, focus on your intentions, especially the ones that you set back in August on that Virgo new moon at 0 degrees or 1, I think it was at 1 degree. I don't have my notes. Either way, now we're at a time of mastery. This new moon is coming in at 29 degrees, which numerologically breaks down to 11. You're at a place of mastery with your manifestations. And if you just got goosebumps right now like I did, put a heart in the comments below, because this is where the solar eclipse is really looking at. This square with Uranus and Venus is really asking you to abandon the delusionment, the disappointment, leave what no longer serves you behind. Let it go. Let go of the how you're going to get to that higher meaning, that higher ascension, that soul-searching journey, and detach from the manifestations. Remember, it's all about surrendering to them. You've got Jupiter's blessing. This is dreaming as big as the universe with that Piscean energy. And remember, Saturn's in our 7th house of partnerships in Pisces right now. So is our North Node. And our North Node is our highest ascension, our highest timeline, highest manifestations, our cutting edge with our highest lessons that our soul signed up for in this life and on our journey. This is all about walking into your stability, walking into your prosperity, walking in and claiming your justice, because it all starts with that self-love. So the more you give yourself acceptance, self-love, embracing the fact and knowledge, the wisdom of all that you've gained in your lessons from knowing that you are the light, the reality around you, your life around you, your outer world is the shadow reflecting back to you. This is standing in your personal power. And the more that you center your light, the more that you harness and charge your energy, call your power back to you, and pour it into, embody what you desire, who you want to be at your highest ascension. This is where your judgment comes in. Your harvest, your return on investment, your success comes in with fortuity. And we've got a lot of water here. So this is all about going with the flow. Like I say, let go of the how and focus on raising your vibration. Focus on raising your frequency and let the universe guide you and provide you the best result and the best path. So right away with the Four of Cups, like I say, let go of the disappointment, let go of the discontentment, back off, let go of the victim mentality, fear of rejection. And now is the time to truly meditate. And we'll get into our manifestation aspects, and I can't help it. I've got goosebumps, and it is not cold in here. If you do too, and I just said that, if that spoke to you, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts, because this is really about repositioning yourself, really aligning yourself through that reflection to what you're truly calling in. And remember, it's embracing everything, every bit of you, every bit of your reality with contentment, and surrendering your manifestations with this new beginning, this new moon, this new chapter. It's all about pouring your heart into it with that Cancerian energy. And it's focused not only on following your heart chakra, knowing that you're actively supported by the universe, by your surroundings, by what you manifest, by your angels, your ancestors, your friends, your networks, your community. And it's leading to the stability of your foundation. It's through your discipline. And remember, this is emotional clarity with this moon in Virgo in our first house, like nothing else. This is also to not forcing, but really recognizing the force that you hold within you that shapes your reality. And it's really driven by what you feel, right? I know there's simple sayings, but what you think about, you bring about. Feeling it real, that's part of your manifestations, and we'll get into the steps. But like I say, it all starts, especially with all this focus on your first house, with your state of consciousnness, your identity. And remember, I'll just say it again, life starts with being, just as you are, who you are, just you, all your authenticity. Out of all of this, Uranus as well, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, all they want and all they ask is for you just to be you, because you are perfectly imperfect and imperfectly perfect, just as you are. This is where you're coming into a higher calling. It's looking at really aligning your unconscious, your subconscious with your conscious, and really calling that in through meditation, through aligning with your psychic energy, with your perceptivity, embracing the unknown, the unrevealed, the mysterious, by tapping in to that Christ consciousness, that collective consciousness, right? And also too embodying, because Pluto's in the mix here as well, the spiritual warrior, the spiritual teacher within each and every one of us. But it starts with really embracing the duality, the knowledge that you are the light in your world. The world that manifests around you is just the unknown. It's the shadow, and doing that shadow work, trusting your intuition and allowing the universe to guide you, really allows you to dream as big as the universe. Be aware of your personal bias, where logic is really stopping your manifestations, and instead trust that what you see in both your physical and your inner eye allow you to naturally live intuitively with guidance. And if that resonates, like I say, by all means, elevate this message, like, share, subscribe, because you guys are what make this message reach the people that it needs to reach, the ears that need to hear it truly, by every interaction that you do with me, connection-wise, energetically, physically, in these messages, on this channel, in this family. That's what makes these messages reach the ears that need to hear. So during this time as well, like I say, not only will you be brought out of your comfort zone in a lot of ways, that's what they're asking, but there's reassurance behind it. There's financial gains behind it. There's new opportunities, blessings. And I just want to point out as well, they're coming from your social networks. So this could be through brainstorming ideas, connecting hands that hold benefits either personally and or professionally, and even provide resources to tackle career changes. So now is the time truly to connect with your outer world as you align with your inner world. And at the bottom of the deck, look at that. We got the Hermit card speaking through. Yes, I think so. So this is where it'll be nurturing. It'll provide the emotional security that you need when it's uncomfortable change, right? And it's going to happen between all of this and leveraging your analytical skills. So between all of that, the energy and the support will allow you to navigate these changes successfully. That's the biggest thing about this square. So let's talk a little bit more about manifestations, especially before we get into the big day this weekend, September 21st, second new moon in Virgo at 29 degrees. Partial solar eclipse in Virgo, all in our first house. They'll also be conjunct with our lunar south node in Virgo. So again, the eclipse is basically clearing space, clearing the path. And in particular, what it's going to align with, what it's going to be clearing out, is those lower expressions of the south node, right? There's nothing wrong with the south node. Those are our comfort zones. However, in the lower expressions of Virgo, that can really be tailored to or focused around being self-critical, overly self-critical, that stops you from going towards your north node, your highest ascension, right? Also, too, the definition of perfection needing to be flawless instead of realizing that perfection is truly efficiency-driven results. Getting messy, refining along the way, right? Also, too, the difference between self-sacrificing, thinking that you have to be for service just because you're a Virgo, as opposed to knowing the higher ascension of Virgo, that you're here to be of service, but you have the choice. It does not reflect self-sacrifice. Being a Virgo doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice all that you want and desire just to serve others in this life. Being a Virgo is about being the spiritual teacher, the healer, looking at all the details, utilizing our analysis, pragmatic planning, meaningfulness in our gestures, acts of kindness in our service, because we can, not because we have to. Also, too, looking at the aspects where we're record keepers with our spot-on, sharp minds in such a great way. But the story of the hermit, like I say, too, I mean, that's where it's like at the bottom of the deck, it just pulled to me. We shine light on the shadows, the unknowns. And then once we take that journey, not all who wander are lost, right? It's the journey of the soul, the lessons, and really embody that darkness. Shine the light on the unknown, the suppressed, the lower expressions. We can then teach and share those lessons with the world as our gift, whatever that manifests within each and every one of you, because each of us has a different gift. Each of us has a different story that we're meant to share. So this is a beautiful energy. And let's talk back about the manifestation aspects. So there's a wonderful lady on YouTube named Katie Clark, and I would fully recommend watching her videos. So her last name Clark is C-L-A-R-K-E. I said that backwards with the video, but you know what I meant, C-L-A-R-K-E. And then it's Katie, K-A-T-I-E. So one of the biggest things that she talks about is our identity, right? With all this first house action, really looking at it with a different perspective, that it's our state of consciousness. And I'll say it one more time. Life starts with being. Being leads to doing. Doing results in having. So if you have felt trapped in your reality with receiving the same results that you keep, and you keep trying to force your actions, make things physically happen by will in your world from the same level of consciousness, you're going to keep experiencing the same things, the same thoughts, the same ideas, and stay stuck in the perpetual feedback loop that you're seeing around you. So the biggest thing about your perpetual feedback loop, what the feedback loop is that she talks about, is really seeing something in your external reality and confirming that, or letting that actually dictate what you receive, what you accept, right? And so this goes into, check out the short video that I did where we actually have 15 senses, right? We've got the 5 senses of the body, 5 senses of the spirit, 5 senses of the soul. Your imagination is what vision, your vision and authenticity of your dream life, your dream job, your manifestations, all starts with, it's leveraging the spirit and the soul Those senses that help you raise your level of vibration, change your state of consciousness. And if that resonates, like I say, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this perpetual loop is all about trying to reason your manifestations with logic. That's why the trap happens. That's where the trap is felt, right? In the body. So when you look at this in a different way, basically when you look at your perpetual feedback loop, seeing something in your external reality and taking that as evidence of what's possible, and then deciding to let that dictate your current reality, which is actually dictating what you see in your external reality. And if that makes sense, like I say, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. But that is truly why you're experiencing the trap and feeling trapped, really rather, in your reality with receiving the same results, the same ideas, the same things, the same thoughts, right? So what you think about, you literally bring about. Your state of consciousness, your identity changes everything. And Venus is helping us, the moon is helping us, this partial solar eclipse is helping us, all with changing our state of consciousness. So when you shift your identity, that shifts your thoughts, that shifts your beliefs, that shifts your focus. It shifts, more importantly, what you can actually perceive and what you actually are perceiving. So manifestation just in general. And I check out the little shorter video that I did. It breaks it down into 7 steps, but to talk about it in a different way, give you a different enlightenment about it. And we'll go into 5 steps here. So 5, not 7. Not sure if that makes it easier, but either way. This manifesting is truly the state of your consciousness, the state to perceive that which you prefer, and shift your state of consciousness so that you can see what you prefer rather than only see what you don't prefer. And if you have your ear ringing right now, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, like, share, subscribe, because think about this in the way of frequency. We're all frequency, we're all vibration. That's the laws of the universe, right? Think about it in the way where you are the light in your manifestations. Your reality is your shadow, right? It's being, doing, having. So the best way to truly manifest and to look at it with a different articulation, and I know we'll get into the cards here in a bit as well, but the first step is truly to charge. So if you're experiencing relationships that aren't aligned to you, if you're in a job that you're not happy with, which is Uranus and the square with Uranus and Venus that's making you really look at right now and reflect on, it is amazing at how you're actually draining your energy. Think of yourself, your energy, as a battery, right? It's where your focus is. It's where your concentration is. So the biggest thing about charging in step 1 of manifestation is truly calling your power back. And it starts with really getting into a meditative state, right? It's calling your power back, calling your energy back to you, and then priming it with step 2. That's allowing to receive what you prefer, rather than let what you don't prefer dictate your reality. So priming your energy once you've charged your battery, right? Once you've charged that energy. And it also really starts with that heart-brain frequency, right? That heart-brain alignment. It really starts with affirmations, and that's why I do affirmation meditation videos as tools for you guys to truly prime your energy in this way. It basically it lets you envision, use your imagination with your highest ascension, what your higher timeline looks like, what you look like, what you truly desire, and then focus on allowing it. Focus on having it already in your life. And by priming your energy to already having what you desire, utilizing your imagination, holding your vision, and allowing yourself energetically to call in, to experience having what you already desire, that's where your manifestation truly lies. That's where the magic happens. Now, the next 3 steps are truly about protecting that charge and that prime, that work that you're doing with your energy field. So the 3rd step is truly about embodying. And the first way to do this, why I know they always say it and articulate it as journaling, but here's a different way to look at it. So, and I love her because she is not an artist. So she's got this thing about stick figures, don't ask, but I found it rather intriguing and very endearing. But basically, the way that she puts it is when you journal, rather than journaling, same thing as like a vision board, draw a stick figure and then draw a circle around that stick figure rather than a box. You're not boxing yourself in. It's an energy field, so it's movement, right? So within that circle, write down who you are in this dimension, your highest timeline, your highest ascension, your highest north node, who you want to be. How do you think? What does that person think about? Embody that energy. What habits, what routines do I embody? How do I treat people? How is my confidence? How do I uphold my boundaries? How do I handle situations, especially when they're uncomfortable? Change as well. How do I stand in my authenticity and honor my authenticity? How do I uphold my standards? Write all of these down in that bubble, in that circle, that energy field around that stick figure, or if you want to draw a person too, like a non-stick figure person, whatever you decide, however you see yourself. This becomes your vehicle that drives you to your new identity, your new higher state of consciousness. Once you do that, the fourth step is truly about preventing resistance. It's through acceptance. Accept that everything in your current reality is going to be experienced, because energy is momentum, energy is fluid, right? There's a 20 to 30 day lag time with your manifestations. What you call in, what you light up in yourself, and have that mirror back in your reality, in your shadow, right? And it starts with your state of consciousness. It's centered and grounded with your state of consciousness. So the fourth step of acceptance is truly understanding and accepting everything in your current reality, knowing that there's this lag time, that you're going to be at a higher state of consciousness before you see that reflected in your world around you. And a lot of times, if you embody that, feel embodied in that trap of reality, receiving the same results, same thoughts, same ideas, right? That lower level of consciousness, a lot of it's really being stuck and prevented because of this step of acceptance. And a lot of that is due to the fact of resistance. Willing your new reality will trip this step up in your manifestations every single time, because it brings you into this logical way of being, and it lowers your state of consciousness. And if that makes sense, by all means, like I say, put a heart in the comments below, because once you accept everything in your reality as it is now, and also to hold gratitude for all that is going well, for all that you appreciate, for all that you have in your current reality, knowing that what you're calling in will come. This is when the fifth step comes, which is surrender, right? And that's truly about finding the contentment, letting it go, letting go of the how your manifestations come in, and instead giving it up to the universe for orchestration, for magnetization, and for safekeeping, because the universe will provide you and guide you to the best result and the best path. Through laws of physics, it has no other option but to do that. With the surrendering step, it's truly about saying, okay, this is what I want. This is what my vision is. I know it'll come at one time or another, one way or another. I give it to you, and I'm okay with where I am right now, with everything that I'm currently in my reality. And also, too, that goes even further, one step farther. If you're not happy in your reality, right? Bad relationships, people that are not withholding your boundaries, honoring you, your confidence, how you're handling situations, how you're standing in your authenticity, staying aligned and feeling trapped in the same job, the same ideas, the same thoughts, the same structures, right, that you're experiencing. Being okay with knowing that you're not okay with what you're receiving right now is also a surrender. Saying, okay, this is not what I'm happy with, but I know that this is what I want, and it will come when I raise my state of consciousness. It will come one step forward, 1% forward every single day will open new paths, new opportunities to rise towards my authenticity. Because when you stand just as you are and you're okay with being just who you are in the who and now, or here and now, that's truly where the universe, with the laws of vibration, have no other option but to respond in kind. And like I say, if you've got goosebumps right now, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. But I just wanted to touch on manifestation because it's all about your frequency. Remember, as you manifest, especially with this solar eclipse, with this new moon, all the intentions you set with this first Virgo new moon into the second new moon with reaffirming with your double dose of manifestation. Remember your frequency. You are the light. Your reality is the shadow. And it starts with raising your state of consciousness to be open, because all the opportunities, all the new doors are already there. They already exist. It's what you call in. And so being, your identity, your state of consciousness leads to doing. Doing leads to having. It's all about opening that perception, opening that consciousness up. This is where with the King of Cups, it's all about, and like I can't stress it enough, it all starts with your meditation, calming the mind, and really not letting the mind lead you, but instead let your intuition, your vibration, your frequency align for you. So this is emotional regulation, right? We're getting help from that moon in such a beautiful way, leading the way in your professional life, in your craft, in your creativity, in your vision, in your imagination, holding that dream and dreaming it as big as the universe with that with Cancerian, don't ask, Piscean energy, but also embracing all the opportunities that are around you that you don't see yet. Because remember, when you raise your state of consciousness, you open yourself to new thoughts, new ideas, new experiences. You break that perpetual loop. That's what that Aquarian energy represents. Innovation, outside the box ideas. Get yourself outside that box and into your vibrational circle. This is where the heart will lead the way. It's through your emotions, it's through your intuitions. Your desires come into your reality by embracing your senses of the spirit and the soul. And that starts with your inner self and the relationship with your inner self. And remember, that South Node conjunction with this new moon, with the solar eclipse, is going to be helping us with this in a big way. It's how we define work. It's how we define service. Like channeling that spiritual warrior within each and every one of us and defining how we really receive, look at, and reflect on what success means to us. So on the 21st, like I say, we've got the second new moon in Virgo at 29 degrees of mastery. Partial solar eclipse in Virgo, both in our first house. The conjunction with the lunar south node really making us look at all of those comfort zones, those lessons that we've already learned from our past lives. Also, too, the places where lower expressions can be held. With Virgos, that's, again, I'll say it again, our idea of perfectionism and what that means to you, how it holds you back, analysis paralysis, overcritical aspects, especially of the self during this time with all this first house action, all this first house activation. So this is truly on the 21st with all this energy. It's marking the beginning of powerful stories in your life that will be present for a very long time, because we've got Saturn and Neptune in opposition as well. So this is the time to step into a brand new chapter of your life. And like I say, I will be doing a separate read on all this energy on the 21st, how we can work with it, harness it. I'll touch again on manifestations for anyone that needs to really look at it, but I'll also offer another perspective as well, another articulation, because this is truly about new skills, new opportunities, new employment, walking towards change with enthusiasm rather than fear, with inspired action, with raising your state of consciousness to receive and be open to the good news about money, career, education, home, with action, initiation with that Aries energy that leads you towards your true stability and your authenticity, in your integrity with that Taurian energy, and allows you to adapt with dualities, embrace dualities with grace when it comes to that Geminian energy. So the Page of Pentacles is all about new beginnings. And two, recognize we've got double earth right here. This is 10 toes down when it comes to really embodying your manifestations in the here and now. So, like I was saying, this is the beginning of powerful stories of your life that will be presented for a very long time. It's time to step into a brand new chapter of your life, because with the opposition of Saturn, again, in Pisces, in our 7th house of partnerships, commitments, contracts, legal matters as well. Saturn, karma, legacy, structure, wealth, discipline. Also, the opposition with Neptune. Neptune is aligning us in this retrograde towards our dream life of authenticity. In Aries, initiation, action. In our 8th house, transformation. Gorgeous energy. These new beginnings are going to be redefining. These two are asking you, this opposition aspect is asking you to redefine your work, redefine your service, your commitments, your spirituality, and align with your highest values and living in your true integrity. Later in the night as well, on the 21st, after the solar eclipse, after the new moon in Virgo, the second new moon, which is kind of referred to as the black moon, right? But whatever, it's embracing the shadows. Then we will be seeing the moon moving into Libra. And to top this off, this is such gorgeous energy. And if you've got goosebumps, by all means, I'm so excited to tell you, I just got this extra energy burst here. So the Libra moon on the night of the 21st will be trining with Uranus in Gemini, 10th house, honors, career, achievement, reputation, recognition. And it'll also be trining with Pluto in Aquarius in our 6th house, spiritual warrior energy. The Libra moon is going to be in our 2nd house. That's worth. You are your greatest asset. Income, how it translates into your finances. These trines with the Libra moon are encouraging you to embrace the great reset from this new moon, because the eclipse is going to be clearing the obstacles. Uranus and the moon are ushering in insightful ideas that will develop your professional life, bring not only success and a redefinition of your professional success, but also sudden recognition. And this is where you will very much be spoiled for choice when it comes to the 7 of Cups. With Venus's help as well, in Virgo, 1st house, remember, check out that video if you haven't seen it. She's offering us discernment to see through the delusions, see what options cause befuddlement, or what options are fantasy, grand gestures of gaslighting, right? And instead embrace our imagination, our true senses in general, of the spirit and the soul. Walk forward with the new chapters, with inspiration, with creativity, and what we manifest, what we call in, how we raise our state of consciousness, our vibration. And she's blessing us with truly looking at walking through the fire with this scorpionic energy, embracing the shadow. Because remember, if you look at it, where you're the light, your reality is the shadow. Embracing your reality as a personal challenge to embrace the hidden wisdom, the spirituality, the mystery of your highest ascension, your integrity, your authenticity, and let your intuition guide you. This is charging towards that higher ascension with brevity? Being brave. Sorry. Correct me in the comments below. I would absolutely love it. But basically embracing your fearless spiritual warrior with your ambition. Looking at confrontation and facing it head on, especially that inner conflict of where you're seeing a trap in that perpetual feedback loop, right? Being quick-witted, utilizing your intelligence, articulating your emotional clarity in what you want, advocating for your passions in such a beautiful way that builds structure with that Capricorn energy, that thinks outside the box with innovation, with Pluto's help, with that Aquarian energy, and truly embodies that solar plexus energy. And as you can see, there's double air here as well. This is really looking at conflicts, looking at issues, looking at the same thoughts, the same ideas, being stuck in that perpetual loop and experiencing the same things that don't bring your dream life into your reality. And instead, I'll say it again, looking at the logic and how you've tried to logic with your manifestations in that feedback loop of seeing something in your external reality and taking that as the evidence of what's possible, letting that decide and let that dictate your current reality, when really how you shift your consciousness, your state of being, allows you to experience new ideas, new beliefs, new focuses, and truly put your energy towards what you truly want to see, not what you don't prefer. So with the solar plexus, it's being confident in knowing who you are, what you are, knowing that you're enough. You truly have always been. You have everything in you that you need to succeed. And the Hermit is saying that all here. It's receiving the guidance, it's receiving the mentorship, it's being open to receive. Not following the traditionalist of what you've been preconditioned to, but instead reaching the completion of this lesson, achieving your goals, attaining what you prefer in your life, integrating the light with the dark, and ending a cycle as you write your new chapter. This is gorgeous energy, and if you just got goosebumps like I did, by all means put a heart in the comments below, because let's get into Pluto. So with Pluto's energy as well, trining this Libra moon in our second house. Remember, Pluto is still in retrograde as well, but he's asking you to truly channel that spiritual warrior. He's asking you, how do you define your success? What you truly call in and what you prefer in your state of consciousness, in your reality, so that it can be reflected in your reality, in your Ten of Cups, in that sun energy, and what's holding you back, what's making you look. I mean, this is all, yep, let's talk about this. Okay, I'll finish my first thought on Pluto though, and then we'll get into this. Pluto's energy with this trine is ensuring that these breakthroughs, these new beginnings, are instilling a deeper change, a deeper healing. And Pluto is bringing all those blocked, suppressed emotions, all those unhealthy habits, all that lower state of consciousness to the surface so that you can truly heal. And that would include self-sabotage. So let's look at this. This is what all came out. I'm going to try and spread these out here. So this is where he's opening the door to really look at when you are in that meditative state, when you calm the mind, so that you can truly look at where you're self-sabotaging, where you're experiencing the trap of the perpetual loop, of experiencing the same things that you don't prefer, right? Bringing all of that to the surface, healing it, and releasing it, and allowing this big opportunity to overhaul in your spiritual warrior essence, your energy, your state of consciousness, and then release, and then heal, and create an energetic empowerment within you and your lifestyle that focuses on savings, that focuses on aligning your energy to the future plans that are coming towards you, that are flowing towards you with this new moon, this partial eclipse, this beautiful new chapter. This is where the new you is truly emerging with all these new beginnings. And it'll propel you forward with an intuitively guided financial stability, unorthodox success, renewed work ethic, and it's all karmic. Remember Saturn, it's all for the long term. So this is where, I think this came out first, with the Five of Coins in reverse, this is basically looking at where you have been stuck in a perpetual loop of spiritual hardship, financial poverty, financial difficulties, troubles, letting that reality, what you're experiencing in that reality, dictate your acceptance to the reality that you receive. That lower state of consciousness, right? That fourth dimension, that feeling of pain, backstabbing, gossip, exaggeration, especially with partnerships, fear of failure, working hard and not seeing the return on investment with exhaustion, not seeing through deceptions. Remember, Venus is helping us with those discernments. A lot of it comes from a powerful figure, an authority that's been preconditioning you to accept less than what you deserve, to really precondition you in the way of believing that your reality dictates what you receive, that's your confirmation, that's your evidence of the stability or instability, where your focus should be. that someone else dictates the power that really resides within you when it comes to your manifestations. This is where Pluto is making you question everything. Seeing with discernment, no longer being blind to the truth, feeling caught in the middle, that it's not in your control, that you're torn between two choices and you don't know which way to go, that your path isn't clear. Remember that solar eclipse? That's clearing that away. Being susceptible to deceptions, to lies, to manipulation, deceit, theft, sneaky behavior, lower vibrations. Remember that lower state of consciousness. See those for everything that they are. And truly what they are is lessons so that you can break through. And remember, sometimes breaking things down is what's needed to make room to break through, to break that glass, right? And if that resonates, by all means, like I say, share your thoughts, like, share, subscribe. What is it? Like and hype? Learning, just saying. But this is where once you break that glass, expect things to move rapidly. This is fast progress, fast growth, fast excitement. Because remember, once you change your state of consciousness, the universe has no choice but to mirror back your vibration. So it's all about your frequency. And remember the lag time. Don't get frustrated. Accept the here and now. And more importantly, embrace, embody past that what your highest ascensions are. Break that glass. Let the tower fall because it wasn't built on a stable foundation. Let the confusion part. Let the loss, the pain, the disaster, the fears of sudden change, the uncomfortability, let it all in and feel it, honor it, and then understand it. Because a lot of it comes from that shadow work, right? A lot of those fears really stem from something, just as an example. If you're fearful of standing out, living loud and proud in your authenticity, right? There's something that happened, just as an example, when you were younger, where you stood and shined as light, like your light for all to see, and for whatever reason, you were not supported, whether it be from a parental figure, an authority figure, life surrounding you in a lot of ways as well, whoever that speaks to, somebody that basically wanted to stand above you, and they didn't honor you. They didn't support you. Instead, they dimmed your light. That actually carried through and is manifesting in your actions when it comes to self-sabotage still to this day. It's looking at all those towers, and with the 16, it breaks it down into 7, and it's looking at the spiritual lesson that it was meant to teach you so that you can then move towards your north node, let this tower fall, your cutting edge, break the glass, and raise your state of consciousness to call in what you prefer rather than accept your reality and experience what you don't prefer. And like I say, if that resonates, put a heart in the comments below, because I feel this was such a big enlightening thing for me as well. And this whole weekend is so beautiful with helping us break this glass. This is leading us, truly manifesting our 10 of Cups, true attainment of happiness, fulfillment, joy, the family that you deserve, that honors you, that supports you, love with your partnerships, your commitments, your legal matters, your justice, luck in what you do, how you create, how you manifest with that higher state of consciousness, how you embody your identity and walk through life in your identity. And it starts with that self-love, obtaining the success that you were meant to succeed in, that you were meant to achieve in health, in stability, in your partnerships, your career, your soul's path, your purpose. And with the highest card in the deck, reach towards the sun. Spirit is saying, once you break this glass, with the 19, this is your new beginning. 19 reduces to that 1, right? First 10, then 1. Anyway, everything will go well. It's all, everything that's preventing you is just a perpetual loop. Once you break that cycle, embrace the new ideas, the new possibilities, tap into the infinite possibilities that are already here in the universe, in the multiverse. Good fortune is meant to happen for you. Health, fun, success, positivity, jubilation when it comes to really claiming your victory, claiming your highest ascension, claiming and seeing what you prefer, not accepting what you don't prefer, claiming your identity. I have goosebumps and my ear is ringing. If you have that experience as well right now, by all means, let me know in the comments below. But before we go, how am I rhyming a lot lately? Don't ask. Let's get a few additional messages, thank you, from our spirit animals. Okay, just one today. I'm into it. Okay. Yeah, this is wisdom. This is gaining that hermetic wisdom that we all have lost in a lot of ways. We've all been preconditioned to not honor in a lot of ways, but it lies within you. So let your head and your mind reach for the stars as you manifest. Keep your feet grounded to the earth. Heart, brain, earth harmony. Listen to the ancient wisdom of your soul. Your ancestors are speaking through you during this weekend, during your manifestations, through your meditation, through this new moon of new beginnings, through the solar eclipse. Because remember, this is all ushering in, I'll say it, new jobs, new families, new alliances. My ear just started ringing, so I got a little distracted. New visions, new dreams, new commitments. They're long-lasting, and they are all coming in as we walk into this autumn equinox. This is the time. You know which way to go. This is the time to embody your hermetic wisdom, the ancient wisdom that is really lying within you as the light. Also, too, before we go, let's look at our major arcana. So, this is gorgeous. I mean, what? Okay. And it's at 29 degrees with this new moon. Numerologically, do you get goosebumps? Because I just did. Third eye, intuition, letting that guide you. I can't help it. Oh my gosh, my ear is ringing like none other. And I've got goosebumps. I can't, oh my gosh. Okay, so color therapy. We pulled the indigo and also green. Heart chakra, crown chakra, third eye chakra all the way as well. Hold that vision for your future without attachment. This is the time. And then let's see here, for music therapy, as you meditate, because remember, music is vibration and frequency, same thing as color. That's why I always say these at the end. This is embracing G sharp and F sharp as you do your improv. And so I truly hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend, a happy new moon, happy second new moon in Virgo, and a beautiful partial solar eclipse. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.